Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Windbreaker podcast, episode number 81 for Monday, June 30th. Marty here, as always, joined by Jay and producer Eric. Yahtzee is out this week on holiday, but Jack Packard is here to join us and chat about our insatiable backlogs, especially in light of the modern the Steam sale that's going on right now. Welcome, fellas.
Hello.
All right, we had a great show. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for no. How's it going, Jack? Are you still there?
By the way, okay, so my computer does a very strange thing in which every once in a while, even though within looking at my volume mixer, I can see the volume from Discord bouncing up and down, I can't hear you. It just shuts off Discord audio until I mute it and unmute it. Usually I can do it fast enough to where like I can pick back up in the conversation, but apparently you asked me a specific question while I was muting and unmuting you.
No, it was mostly hi.
Not really.
Hi and welcome, and we're going to talk about our backlogs. And Yahtzee's on
Hi,
vacation.
here's Jack.
All things
You
know.
Right. All right, here's my hot take. Here's my hot take.
Let's hear it.
This meme that we have of expansive backlogs, our ability to buy so many games and not play them is a bad thing. That's my hot take. I do not like it. I think we are over consuming, and that is devaluing a bunch of people's hard work.
But we are giving them money.
But we are giving them money. That's a good counterbalance. That's a good counterpoint. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's backlogs are funny because, like, Jack, when you and I were kids, I mean, Jay, when we were kids, I feel like people didn't talk about that just because as kids we just didn't have as many games. Like, I would get like a game for Christmas.
It was like a treat
for my birthday.
right?
Yeah, and you would do the opposite. You would be like, "How far can I extend this game that is not meant to be played for 6 months?
How many times can I replay Ratchet and Clank?" Like,
exactly. And then there would be occasional, you rent a game and everything, but even that had its own like enclosed window. And is it Steam that created the backlog, especially Steam sales? Like, especially the idea of like for a 50, I can get 1 million games from the past 10 years.
It's not just Steam. I'm blaming. This is the dual edge surge. This is Surge energy drink.
That's the game I haven't played as well, the Surge.
This is the dual edge sword of digital media in general.
Yeah.
I see in chat already, some people are saying, what about movies? What about books? Well, you know what? If you buy too many books and don't read them, now you have a house that you have to step over your books. It has a physical impedance, but digital, it runs wild.
No, absolutely. When physical collections balloon to a certain amount, unless you have a lot of space or you are really in the mindset of I want to keep everything, you are quick to get rid of stuff, quick to purge. I've purged book collections. I've purged DVD collections before. I've purged game collections, which I now regret because I purged them for very little money, and those could have been worth a lot more now. But yeah, when you look, like I have 5 devices right now that are just full of games I want to play. I have a Steam Deck. I have my Switch 2. I've been using my PlayStation Portal, playing Death Stranding on that. I got my little Pocket emulator that just has every game from before 2005 on it. And it's overwhelming, and it's like it's something I've dug this grave myself. I could choose not to do this, but I've chosen this life.
Right.
So Jay, do you feel like Jack feels bad? No, do you feel bad about your backlog? Is that the word I want to use? Or you think backlogs are inherently bad?
I agree with everything Jack's saying. I think there's a devaluing of the art form by it being so readily available. Like, there are games that I played in my childhood that are stuck with me because I was stuck with them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I think it's just like it's a double-edged sword in a negative. I think there's the other side of the blade, which is because they're so readily available, we are able to buy more, which means the developers that are lucky enough to be popular and in those sales are making money, whether they're being played or not. And people will get to them eventually. There's loads of games that I have that I really want to get to from modern memory, but it's also the same in reverse. There are things like game because I've been so intimidated by how many there are and where to start. So like there being so many of them is an issue. You guys are like glitching on my cameras. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
You guys were glitching on I thought it was me.
No,
you
glitched
out for a little minute. Yeah,
this is like an O. Henry story. Like we all thought each other was
glitching,
but it turned out we were the glitchers. Yeah, it's the
God.
same thing when I used to date someone who had the problem of they'd want to watch something at night and would open up Netflix and would just scroll. Yes. And I'm like, this is not a way to live. You'd spend 90 minutes scrolling, and I'm like, we could have watched a movie or several episodes of a television series. I don't know. That's something that like the fact that we have 1 million movies available on our streaming services, like let alone the ones we pay for, but just free things like Tubi.
Wait, wrong podcast. Wrong podcast.
Crap, sorry.
I know I'm here. No, and not like I've heard statistics, and I have friends who have worked for people like Roku, who will go through that data and say like over 60% of people turn on their Roku device, browse for 5 minutes, and then turn off their Roku device. Instead of just picking something, they are so overwhelmed they say, fuck it, I will sit in a quiet room for 2 hours and think.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons Netflix has custom demographic based thumbnails. Right? It's to try their very best to grab the people that are scrolling, right? But then again, I have so many subscription services that I just never use, but they just keep ticking over. And then I go to watch something and I'm like, But then start a movie and I'm like, I'm bored. I think just culturally as well, we've become a culture of just, I'm bored, I'm moving on. Because there's just too much stuff, right? You don't give stuff time because there's 100 other things you could be doing.
Sure, especially if you're interested in multiple mediums. And the games are not a quick fix kind of thing. Like games take a long time to play. And then if you're interested in movies and TV and sports or whatever, anime or wrestling or like those hobbies, they pile up. And especially like I look at there's like a dozen reasons why I want to play a game, and sometimes it's like, oh, this is the next big game and I want to play this so that I could talk about it for work, or oh, I want to catch up on the things I miss, or I just want to play weird ass indie games that I found that like no one knows about because I'm like, this looks neat. Something about this looks neat. Or I want to like fill in, everyone has major blanks, in their like, blind spots. And like, I'm like, well, maybe I should play a Mass Effect. Because I didn't play Mass Effect. Seems like something I should play. Or then you just want comfort food. Like sometimes when I'm sad, I want to play Katamari. And I'm not getting anything new from Katamari. Like I've already gleaned my opinion of Katamari, but it makes me happy, which is good.
That's true. That's true. And so like to me, this idea of backlogs, I think one of the most insidious things, if we're gonna have a blame here, like there's a lot of blame to go around. There's a lot of culture, but I would like to specifically blame one button in the Steam interface. One specific button, which is if you go to your library in Steam and you have your big list of games, there's that one button that says show only ready to play games. It literally takes all the games that you don't have downloaded and tucks them away. You don't have to even worry about them.
I have that permanently
you think that's a good thing
at all times?
No. I'm saying that button is the reason that is the reason that the problem exists.
Because you're able to out of sight, out of mind. When it's like, no, you should have to confront your demons. You should have to go face to face with.
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult for me. I have over 1,000 games on Steam, so it's a bit overwhelming. So I tend to do that. So I don't, because also I have dyslexia. So there being just this wall of text really messes with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I like to just be like, let's just see what I have. But I've got my Steam library open here, and even within the last 3 months, there are a bunch of games that I've bought and just not played. I remember that there's a string here where I bought 5 in one day trying to find something to play. I didn't play any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. What are the?
I intentionally went to find something.
Yeah.
The 5 are The Operator,
Okay.
Cocoon.
Cocoon's great. You should play Cocoon. Or you should watch Cocoon with Wilford Brimley.
I lied. The other one is Chance of Sennar, and I played like an hour of that, so I lied.
That's a good game.
Okay.
The Last Case of Benedict Fox and Fear and Hunger.
Okay.
I see why I didn't play that one.
And what did you end up playing instead? This is my question.
Probably. Okay, so at this point, I can see my library. I would have played Dave the Diver, which is because that was for work, and all Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Wilds was out at that same time. So
okay,
you're also.
I just go back to my comfort thing.
You have comfort things, and you get. I mean, part of it is because like design delve means you have to delve deep into a game. You can't just give it like I played for 5 hours and I got to take. But like you get. I don't know if obsessed is the word, but like when when a design delve rolls around, you'll occasionally tell them like, "Oh, I've put in this much time to Elden Ring Night Rain, or this much time into what your topic for tomorrow is," and I'll be like, "Holy shit!"
Let me embarrass myself. So tomorrow, you guys are gonna get my Dune Awakening video, the audience, and that game's been out like a week and a half, like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I've put 140 hours into that game.
I'm not even sure there's been that many hours in these weeks, which is just like, do you have pocket hours? You got like rollover hours?
There was a point in the first week where the first week is my like research and writing and like where I'm doing all that stuff. I'll usually do like a couple days. I think I got about 3 or 4 days in where I was just like, I've done nothing but do this. And I'm like, I should go physically touch grass because it might help my health. And I was just, I do tend to get obsessed with things. But again, is that just because that's not just a me thing that I'm not touching my backlog because I just tend to hyper focus? It's also, I know people like Marty, you dip your toes into many games. Like I see, it seems like every podcast we're on, you're like, oh, on the weekend I played X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, damn, like, just like you're like, how are there this many hours in the day for me to play one thing like an obsessive nerd? I'm like, how have you had this time to touch all of these games?
And part of that is I'm a grazer, I guess. I have very few games that like. I don't have forever games. I don't have multiplayer or MMO games, or I don't even have like long games that I repeat all the time. Like Jack, you play Souls games
all the time,
often, or I don't know if you still do, but you were like a Binding of Isaac, like you're sort of. Whereas like my comfort food stuff tends to be like, oh, I'll play like a little Katamari, or I'll make like a quick Link to the Past run, which is only like I can get in like under 10 hours now or something like that. I don't have any of those like, oh man, I have like a part-time job and it is Final Fantasy 14 or Dark Souls 3 or something like that.
But there's a part of gaming that I like about that. Sometimes I like to play games to stimulate my brain, and sometimes I like to play games to turn it off.
Sure.
And it's weird because I need brain stimulating games for my work, right? Because that's where I think the interesting things to talk about are in design delve and stuff like that. But then in the evenings, when I've just had a hard day of playing games, the next thing I want to do is play more games. But I don't want to I don't want to play like a puzzle game all night after I've just done been editing all day, or I've just been writing or something like that. So games like World of Warcraft, for right now, Dune Awakening, I'm at the end game where it's very therapeutic to just there's lots of farming at the end game, and I'm just going through the motions in a positive way, and just it becomes this meditative state that I just want to fall into. So that I think that's why I get obsessed with those types of games.
Absolutely. Like back in the day, that was like a Team Fortress 2 for me, where it's like, okay, I'm done with the work day. The kids are asleep. I'm just going to log in. And I don't I had enough hours in where it's like, I don't have to think about what I'm doing in this game. I can just exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's something about that. And that's why it makes them so easy to fall back into. You play an hour of a game and you're like, it's all right. I'm thinking too much. I'm going to go play WoW or whatever, right?
Do you have do you look at your backlog ever and are like, I'm going to play something tonight and I should play something I own and I have not played yet. So like, do you do like the equivalent of like browsing, how you used to browse through like a video store to be like, oh, well, what am I going to watch tonight, or what am I going to play this weekend? Like browsing through your own library to be like, okay, which of these am I finally going to pick up? Like, is that something you find yourself cognizant of going through?
100%. One, like, and I do it relatively often, especially because obviously this is part of our job, where it's like, okay, no, I bought this game for a particular reason, whether I want to get an hour into it because I might stream it sometime, or I want to talk about it on something, or I want to make a video on it. But it's I more often than not, well over 60% of the time, I will look through my back catalog and just wonder why I bought it in the first place. What was I thinking? To me, my back catalog is a lot of regret.
Are you susceptible to sales? Like, does it's the Steam summer sale right now? Does that trigger something in you guys? Like, are you going in there and being like, because I'm
browsing the sale right now.
Yeah, I tossed a few things in there.
I bought 4 games on the sale already. I played one, and it did not inspire hope. Or what was the Marie Kondo thing?
It doesn't spark joy.
It did not spark joy in me, so I will be not playing that one. But like, I bought another expansion for Viscera Cleanup Detail because it was $1.25.
Yeah, you can't really. I did the same thing. I was speaking to a friend of mine. We used to play Battlefield all the time together back in the day. We like, it was something we bond over, and we hadn't spoken in a very long time. So we're like, oh, what should we do? Oh, let's play some Battlefield. Oh, should we download an old one? And I went on Steam, and like the newest Battlefield was on sale for $1, and I was like, "Well, we're playing that then."
Yeah.
I also, to go back to what you were saying, Marty, I do go through my backlog, and I think a lot of that, like I was saying, of like trying to detach your brain in the evenings from like games as work. God, we sound so fucking privileged.
But 100% of privilege, absolutely.
Yeah.
Acknowledge.
The idea of like, I will try and find something that I'm like, I will never make a video on this. Like, I'm going to go play this.
Sure.
And then I end up making a video on it. Like, Dave the Diver was that.
Yeah.
Did not go into it intending to do that. I just heard it was really good.
Yeah.
A video was birthed. The same with Liza P. I just want to play Liza P. And then I was just like, I have something to say. And I think creatively, there's also something in that of going into something with just like, I'm going to go have fun. And because you're not thinking it as like, oh, I need something from this. It's like something natural comes. And that's where I think the source is. But it's hard to find games nowadays that are just like, a lot of it is going back thinking, like, I have guilt of not picking up certain franchises. Mass Effect, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid. Never played any of them. And they're the types of things where when I was studying game dev, and I would tell people, they'd be like, oh, you know, and like MGS2, when this happens, and I'm like, I bet it does happen because I've never played it. They like look at me like I just killed their cat.
Yeah.
So it feels like a sin that I haven't done it, but there's just too much of it. There's just so much. I just don't know where to start. And I've said it in like every creative meeting we've had over the last like month. I'm like, I plan to go play the Metal Gear Solid games. But it's like, it's so intimidating.
And it's tough because you're a little bit younger than Jack and I. And so you weren't like, I played Metal Gear, but I didn't have to go back to play Metal Gear because I got the first one for Christmas the year it came out. And then I became a fan of the series and just played each of them as they came out. Whereas if, it's like I've seen so many movies from the 90s because I lived through the 90s. It's not the same for the 60s or 70s. I've had to like go back and put in the work to watch those movies. I wasn't just like consuming them in real time.
It's always the games with acclaim, right? For me, it's Mass Effect, Final Fantasy, MGS. It's like games that I know people deeply care about and are good. But there's just, I don't know where to dip my toe in, right? I could easily get any of them right now. They're too readily available. But it's, when do you take that dip? And it's the same with looking at your backlog. It's like, there's so much here, I don't know what to touch. And then I'll feel guilty if I leave it. Like, there's the games I've kept installed because I plan to go back again. But it's been like 4 years.
Whoa!
Maybe let go of that.
Wait, you have them taking up hard drive space and you haven't played them for 4 years?
Not as bad. Okay.
Insane.
All right, I'll blow your mind. Jess is insane for this. She
Are you
have
throwing
storage.
Jess under the bus right now?
Yeah, she's
For
in
the
a different
storage
room.
bus?
She can. She's in a different room. I won't hear the bus. So she had a really small hard drive on her last PC, and could have to uninstall games and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And when we got her a new computer, she had like 5 times the storage, and she went through and effectively installed everything on her library that she wanted to play. And I'm like, are you gonna play like this random game? She's like, yeah, I might get to it. I'm like, it's 60 gig though, and she's like, yeah. It's like,
I'm looking at like a very expensive 2 terabyte SD card for the Switch 2 that I do not need right now. This internal storage space, I have more than enough for the games I want to play. But I'm like, ooh, if I get this very expensive 2 terabyte card, I could have all of my games ready at once.
Well,
fucking why? What do I care? My games
we're in a digital age.
small, and I could download them very quickly if I want, because I got a new router and I figured out how
digital,
it
right?
works.
They're
all digital.
You want
I don't
so
have any
you can
games,
you can have access to it, right? I have all of my Switch games physical where possible, and I had a huge collection in England that I'm gonna one day ship out here, but it might cost an arm and a leg.
Right, but like to me, maybe what I'm really talking about here, one of the big downsides, in my opinion, of the digital era is the fact is analysis paralysis, right?
Sure.
And so, like, if obviously you live at a place with internet, you can download anything you want right now. You don't need that storage. You would need that storage if you were going to go on a long trip somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I have a long flight, from the States to the UK, maybe. Like, and I know I'm going to get some good gaming hours in. But that is the thing that forces you to plan out. Ooh, I'm going to play this and this and this. If you're on that flight and you have 2 terabytes worth of games, you're going to have the same analysis paralysis, friend.
Yeah. If you just take one physical cart, you're like, that's what you're playing. That's what you have.
This is all I have. And so I think part of it for me is just trying to make a decision. What to play, and I want less options.
Do you Jack, I know with movies you're very clean to cut off a limb and just be like, I'm good with Wes Anderson. I don't need any more Wes Anderson. Or you're like, I'm good with Star Wars.
For those who don't know, I have
the drum
watched,
on Andor. Yeah.
I've not watched a Wes Anderson movie since The Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
That was the last Wes Anderson movie I watched. And you know what? I got it. I got his style. I no longer need to fill my brain with his movies because I understand it. Star Wars is a different thing just because of the outer cultural side of the back and forth. Yeah. And cutting that out of my life has been wonderful. And it's the same with Tarantino movies. Like, I don't make... I haven't seen a Tarantino since... maybe since...
Jackie Brown.
Since Death Proof.
You didn't see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I didn't see Once Upon a Time. I didn't see the Hateful Eight. I didn't see whatever.
You seen Inglourious Bastards?
I didn't. Oh yeah, I saw Inglourious. I didn't see Django. But it's like, you know what? These movies are going to be brilliant. I know that I'm going to like them. I don't need to take up my time to do that. And it's kind of the same, like. And so what am I thinking of here? So like for video games, I guess for anything, part of the process for me is like, is this going to be worth my time? And the lower it gets in price, the more option that is. Like, well, it only costs $2 now. Sure. It's a game I was thinking about. If I only sink 30 minutes into it and bail, then it's okay. But I guess in my head, what the backlog that we're talking about here is like the games that you at one point earnestly intended to play and might still do, though I think we should be okay with just cutting things out of our lives and just say you're not gonna play it.
Let go of the past, kill it if you have to. That was from a series we're not going to talk about.
That was from Grand Budapest Hotel.
What I'm saying is, like, there was like a really good movie once in which like a character made some so in which like an evil character made some nuanced points.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I think just like Netflix or some other streaming places will be like, oh, let me serve you a random thing. I think Steam should have a backlog feature where you press a button and it feeds you a game from your backlog, and then it locks your Steam library until you get the achievement of completing it.
Until you've put an hour into this game, you can't play anything else.
Yeah.
And like, by the way, I would love that. Like some sort of checks and balances. Like, oh, you need to play at least an hour and leave a Steam review, and then we will unlock another game.
That would be a nice way to incentivize more reviews. Or would they all be, for fuck's sake, Steam locked me into playing this wank game, thumb down.
But
how dare you, Steam?
That counts. The first hour was wank. This is my review.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a wank game, like a porno game, like Chop Shop or something. Yeah. I'm curious because I don't look at my backlog as like a burden or an albatross, and I make a lot of lists. I like making lists of movies and TV shows I intend to watch or rewatch. Games I intend to play, and a lot of it might be like, because I do a lot of replays and rewatches, like pinning it to like, oh, there's a new Paul Thomas Anderson movie coming out later this year. I want to do a rewatch of his filmography. So like sort of in my mind being like, all right, July and August, I'm going to rewatch these 10 movies, prepare for one battle after another kind of thing. Like, do you put any preparation like that into like giving yourself almost like a notable runway? Like a few years ago, I played I'm currently playing through all of the Final Fantasy games chronologically. Like, and I'm about to start 10 in a few weeks. So, like, do you guys ever give yourself almost like projects like that?
That's how I started the Souls series. Was I mentioned this on the podcast before? Like, I went into a Blockbuster in England and was like, I've heard of this really hard game. It's like Dark something. I don't know what it is. And they're like, oh yeah, here it is. And they handed it to me, and it was Darksiders. I was like, this ain't fucking hard. Took it back, rented it, took it back. I was like, this isn't what I thought. I was like, it was medieval, like knights and stuff. And they were like, oh, Dark Souls. Yeah, that. So couldn't get out of the, past the Asylum Demon. I was just like, this game's shit. I was young.
Yeah.
Didn't really touch the series. And then Bloodborne came out, and I had a PS4, and I played Bloodborne and fell in love. And I was like, oh my god, there's two others. And I think while I was playing Bloodborne, they just announced Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, it was shortly after Bloodborne.
Yeah, so I was like, well, there we go. So I went back and played Dark Souls 1, I played Dark Souls 2, and then immediately got Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best strings of like gaming experiences I've ever had, because I was just been like, I was prepping for Dark Souls 3, and I think that's why Dark Souls 3 might be one of my favorites, is because it felt like it had this big build up to it. So when it came out, it felt like an event for me.
Yeah, almost like the culmination.
But yeah,
it's a nice feeling when you get into that groove and you kind of. It's almost like if you're watching a TV show and you are like, oh, I'm so into this, I don't need to think about what I'm going to watch tonight, because I don't know, like the first time I did when I got into Game of Thrones, I was several years late, and I was like, okay, I'll find. It was probably like season 5, and I was like, okay, I'll finally start watching. And I watched like 2 episodes. I was like, oh, this shit is good. And every night I knew exactly what I was going to watch, because I was like, this shit is good, and I want to catch up. And I kind of feel that way now with like Death Stranding too. Like I'm fucking hooked on this game, and like I'm thinking about it right now. I'm like, when are we done with this podcast so I can get back there and deliver more kawakas to my animal reservation?
By the way, though, that you might have just like scratched on the exact itch that I'm hyping for. Like, part of the reason why I play the Dark Souls series so much, they're comfort games for me. But also it's like, oh, if I started a run in Dark Souls and I want to finish it, I don't have to spend my brain power to figure out what to play, which I hate. I hate spending that brain power. I have so little to start with. Why are you making me spend more of it? And that's the feeling I'm looking for. I know what I'm going to play.
Yeah. There was
what a feeling.
There's a YouTube channel that I watch called Simo, Shoot Your Mouth Off. They're like a disability filmmaking group from England. I religiously watch their stuff. Every time they upload something, I watch it, and I'll like in the evenings put it on in the background. It's like a weird comfort thing for me. And someone questioned me on it because they were like, "Why do you watch this over and over and over?" And I was like, I don't know. It's just like it's comforting. And I kind of looked into it, and it was I can't remember the exact quote or who said it, but it was basically, why do people keep watching the same things? Why do they like watching the same things repeatedly? And they were like, oh, it's because your brain is working because you're watching something, but you're not thinking because you know what's coming.
Yeah.
So you're not, your brain isn't like fully going, but it's enough to like fire off the good chemicals, but not enough to like actively work you. And that's just like with shows and YouTube channels and stuff like that. It's the same with games. Like I'll always go back to like Terraria is a game that hasn't really changed since it came out. They've got loads of new content, but like the core loop is the same. I have nearly 500 hours in that game.
Yeah.
And I just go in, I do the same build, I do summons, and I go in and I know exactly what I'm doing, and it's just this repeated just comfort feeling. It's just nice.
But it's all like it's the same as like meal prep for the week, or a slow cooker dinner where it's like, this is now something that I don't have to think about, aka I don't have to worry about it. Like for a lot of us who have anxiety or just attention issues, where it's like I no longer have the burden of and even the privileged burden of how will I entertain myself, which jester will make goofs for me, right? Like yes, a very privileged burden, but that is still a thing of like, what am I going to do to with my time tonight or whatever. And just having back in the day, we didn't understand how good we had it when we only had an N64 cartridge of Mystic Knight 64 or whatever.
Legend of the Mystical Ninja?
Legends of the Mystical Ninja, yeah.
We'll go, man.
My God.
No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way where like after a long day of work, I'll be like, okay, I can do something that I have to engage my brain, or do something where I can kind of zone out. And a lot of times I'll lean to zone out, and it'll be like, oh, there's this new Netflix series called Department Q that's really good, and it's this like a sort of like British cold case investigation, but really like elevated. But it's one of those things where I need to give it my all when I'm watching it, and so there are some nights where I'm like, yes, I will watch 2 episodes of this. And then there's other nights where I'm like, no, I will put on an X-Files rerun. Not only will I put on an X-Files rerun, I'm going to go to the channel, which is like 47.5, and it doesn't come in clearly, and they have insane commercials. Every commercial is like, your dick broke? We can fix that. Or then it's like, here's a sad Sarah McLachlan dog commercial. And I'm like, this is why my dick is broke. It's because all of these sad dogs. And I put that on because I'm like, I don't have to think about this, and then I can like fuck around in a game on Switch or something. That's the sad dog commercial. And that's why in Death Stranding, I'm saving all the koalas. Because I'm like, there's forest fires in Australia, and I need to protect the koalas. Except for the one I ran over.
But this is the replay thing, right? This is playing stuff from our childhoods and things that spark that same kind of feeling and give us nostalgia at the same time is really powerful. But that stops us playing new games. Back in the day, and why games became like a ritual, you'd replay the same things over and over because that's all you had. I remember the N64, all I had was like Diddy Kong Racing, Mario 64, and Beetle Adventure Racing. That's like all I had. And I played them in a cycle over and over and over again. And it made going to the store and getting a new game feel like this rite of passage. Like my parents would be like, we're going to go to the store and get you a game because it's Easter or whatever, right? It's like the events of this 6 months. And picking that game was super important because I was like, this is going to be my life for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So it needs to be something cool, right?
Yeah, it was like the equivalent of like getting into a relationship as a kid. This is important. I'm now sharing my life with Quest 64.
Even if it has like, even if it's questionable, even if it's on shaky ground, I'm committed to this one thing for the next 6 months until my birthday. Yeah.
How susceptible, Jack, are you to like peer pressure, not in like a negative way, but in like every meeting for several weeks, Yahtzee was like, "Has anyone played the altars?" And most of us were like, "No, not yet." And I was like, "I'm waiting for it to come to Xbox because it's not running well on my PC." Like, are you susceptible to that if like everyone was banging on about Blueprints or whatever earlier this year, or like Claire Obscure? Yeah.
It depends. It depends on who's saying it. Yahtzee and I disagree enough on the kind of games that we like where I'm not going to play the altars. I know in my heart of hearts it is not a game for me. I understand why Yahtzee likes it. Something like Blueprints, it took me I ignored all of y'all dickheads for a long time, and then a streamer was streaming it, and I got to actually see a run through, and I said, "Oh, I get it now. I understand."
That's it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Y'all talking about it. I'm very susceptible to, I have a few like YouTubers that I watch. I keep on like second screen monitor. I'm very susceptible to that. Have found a couple of really phenomenal games. The game that I just played was because I saw a little YouTube video on it, and I said, "Oh, I bet this is neat," and a little too jank. We'll get there later when we talk about games, I suppose. But no, incredibly susceptible, which raises my guilt and regret levels of like, oh, I didn't find the joy that 420 Weed Face found in it. That's their my favorite YouTube channel.
I thought you were calling one of us at Second Wind.
No, that was
Casey's banging on about it. Another 420 Weed Face game. Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That's 420 Weeb Face.
Oh, Weeb Face.
For me, I have a similar thing, but it's a spectrum. So like I haven't played Clair Obscur. I've played like a couple hours of it. And this was at the point where everyone was gushing about it and saying it's game of the year and how good it is. And people were just, not even just internally, friends would message me and be like, a friend of my mother's who was drunk with my mum on the weekend messaged me on Facebook Messenger, which I don't use, and was like, "Have you played Clair Obscur, Mr. YouTube man?" And I'm like, dude.
Jay, what? You have to stop telling such cool stories about your parents. Like your parents are too cool.
My mom's awesome.
I hate it.
My mom's awesome.
I hate it.
But it does this thing to me where it isn't just someone's whose opinion I respect has recommended something. I'll go check this out. It's so many people that I respect their opinions recommended something where I'm like, going into it, I remember being a bit shaky on the beginning of Clair Obscur, of just like getting used to it. Not to the point where I don't like it, but I was a bit shaky on it, where it gave me this anxiety of like, I want to stop playing because if I don't like this, I don't want to go on to Windbreaker and be like, "Hey Marty, that game's shit."
Yeah.
I don't think it is, by the way. I haven't played it, so I don't have a full opinion on it. But the other side of the spectrum is same with second screen YouTubers. I have had my opinions changed because of how someone has spoken about a game. I remember, and bear in mind, viewers and listeners, that I own 5 copies of this game now. I did not like Hollow Knight when I first played it. I thought it was jank. I was like, I don't like this. This is bad. I don't like it. And then Joseph Anderson did a video on it. And I watched the entire thing, and he was making some really good points about its design, and about its narrative. And I was like, wow, this game looks a lot deeper than I gave it credit for. I'll give it another go. Now it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, and all it took was that like secondary push kind of.
You kind of need to open your mind to like, maybe there's more to this game than the first hour you tit. Like allow it time. And back in the day, the time we had with games forced us to do that. We had to get through those hardships. We had to get through those really jank kind of first time user experiences. But now you can play an hour of a game and get all of your money back immediately.
Yeah.
So, and people are doing that left, right, and center. And that's really bad for indie games that are really short, right? Because people are just playing most of it and then refunding it.
Watching those kind of video essays can also just kind of give you an insight, can give you that like old schoolyard insight of like, oh, did you know you could do a triple jump, a butt pound in Super Mario 64? Yeah. But we get that from did you know you could do this in Hollow Knight? And you go, oh my god, that completely recontextualizes how I was wrongly playing the game. Yeah.
Or those videos can be the way you engage with the game. Like you mentioned Fear and Hunger. I'm never going to play Fear and Hunger, but I've watched Super Eye Patch Wolf's
Super
video
Eye Patch
on
Wolf's
it, and it
video
was
is
great.
amazing.
And I was like, this is awesome. I love the way he presented the game. This is not a game I want any part of.
I get a lot of that with
like
the what's the genre called? I can't remember. It's like Shipwreck 64 and like ARG games where they're like, they're meant to. They've got puzzles in them that the internet are meant to figure out. I love watching videos on them. I remember a fan recommended Shipwreck 64 and to me, and they're like, here's a 6-hour video talking about the ARG elements, but you should go play it first. And the YouTuber was also like, I recommend you play this before you get into it. And I played a lot of it, got to the first like cryptic puzzle that is like meant to be figured out by the whole internet, and I went, okay, I'm done, time to watch the video. It's like I don't want to do this. I just want to hear about the awesome secrets and how people uncovered them. I don't want to like bash my head against this wall and then be like, oh, you were meant to wiggle your little toe on a Sunday at midnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why
it's cool to hear
games
about it,
like
right?
Blueprints and Animal Well, I loved them for the time I was playing them, and then chose a very specific off ramp of like, oh, okay, I've rolled credits on Animal Well, I've found all the eggs. Okay, I am done right now, but I will watch videos about what the next layer of the game is, where people are doing the ARG stuff.
Sure.
Or going really wild, because I'm like, I don't want to. I want to like leave while the leaving's good, and leave on kind of a positive note with like a good taste in my mouth. Like leaving a restaurant where you're still hungry for a little bit more, which is nice.
Absolutely. Speaking of YouTubers we watch for inspiration, Indie Mouse in the chat, hyping up Fear and Hunger. I'm trying to remember. There was one specific like Ender Lilies. You know that Metroidvania where you play as like a little girl who summons ghosts to fight
with the stands.
Yeah, that was a game I specifically saw Indie Mouse play through, and I was like, I bet this game is going to be my jam, and it 100% was.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the beauties of like you really hit the nail on the head with the whole schoolyard analogy. It's like your other YouTubers I watch, and not even like I know them personally, but like I have watched for years. I feel like they're people that I would meet in the playground that would be like, hey, I rented this game and it's really cool, and here's all the cool things I found out. I'm like,
exactly.
Let's go.
Exactly.
Like I want that.
Love that. So before we move over to super chats, are there like what does your current backlog look like? Is it something that like do you keep it? Like, do you keep a backlog, or are you kind of just like, waffling back and forth? Like, what are things that you think you will actually be playing at some point in the next month or two? Do you know?
Okay, what I'm gonna do here is I'm looking back at my past, because you can organize your Steam library by like date purchased and
that's what I've done,
right. And I'm looking back and I'm seeing several games that I bought with the intention to playing that I have not, and I am once again cutting off a limb. I am never going to play those games, and I'm just going to say that in my brain, and it's going to make me feel better.
Whether it's true or not.
These games are dead to me.
Okay.
They do not exist anymore.
Like, what's a game that's dead to you?
Let me see what we got here.
Yeah.
Let me look back here. Oh, Shadow of Doubt is in there.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I've had Shadow of Doubt in my back catalog for a long time. Yahtzee recently did a review on it, and it's like, oh my God, this sounds great. And I saw a YouTuber did a thing on it. It's like, I bet I would love this. Guess what? It's dead to me now.
Yeah.
I'm never going to play it.
It's such a good game.
I'm sure it's great. It's dead to me.
I feel like we need to have like an episode that's just a therapy session of like kill your darlings, of being like, all right, these are 5 things we have to make a promise we're never going to touch. we know we wanna, but we're never going to.
Because if you keep it in your brain, it takes up that little bit of gray matter. It takes up 1 dendrite of brain power, and guess what? Now it's gone. I know I'm never going to play it again. I am a free man.
Yeah.
I also have this issue of and I'll go through my backlog in a second. I subscribe to Humble Bundle monthly. So they send me like, what is it, 8 games, like some really big AAA stuff monthly. And And that does not help because I will go in every few months, grab all the codes. If I don't want them, I hand them out to people. And if I do, I just put them in my Steam library. And the list just keeps growing. And it makes it worse and worse. It just pushes me more into comfort games. Like I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 a lot more recently.
Any other number would have got me excited. You said
I know. I need to play any of them. I know.
He said 14. I'm like, oh dang.
I know, but I'm really loving it at the moment, and it's become that comfort thing for me of just like I'm gonna go play this rather than stare at into the abyss of my Steam library. But
do you also play with pals? Like, is it a social thing? Like, are you chatting with other people you're playing with at the time?
Yeah, I play with some of the guys from Extra Credits and Extra History, and getting into some of the end game and stuff, which is really, really cool. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the games I do play, like Dune at the moment, Dune Awakening, which I'm absolutely loving. My game of the year, by the way, at the moment. Yeah. I've been playing with friends from England, and it's really nice. It becomes like a social thing. Gaming for me, largely, when I put a game down, it's usually because I see my friends or someone else wants to play a thing. So I tend to gravitate more towards multiplayer things, because for me, gaming is just as much as a social thing as it is just like a hobby enjoyment thing. Yeah. I use it to socialize with my friends back in England because I get very little time to spend with them because of the time zones and stuff like that. So I'll usually just gravitate towards a multiplayer thing. So all the things that I've become obsessed with, if we went through the list again, WoW, Final Fantasy 14, Dune Awakening, Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
They're Night Rain. Things that I could play with people. Night Rain, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I tend to dive towards. I could go through bits of my backlog, but it's Nier Automata, Pacific Drive,
Pacific Drive. End
of Magnolia.
I have like 5 hours into Pacific Drive. I would love to finish that. It's dead to me. Cut it off.
Is there a certain point where you could be like, I put my time in, like, is 5 hours of Pacific Drive enough? Like, maybe that doesn't have to be dead to you. Maybe it's just like, well, I did it.
It seemed the issue is like that's one that like should hook me, and it didn't. Maybe if I'm in a different mood, maybe if I'm in a different place in my life, it will hook me, or I can forget it exists. These are our only two options, Marty.
I did the thing where I got Pacific Drive in one of those instances where I'm like, I'm going to get a bunch of games. Yeah. And I played, I can see exactly how much I played, 18 minutes. And then was like, I get what this is doing. I see what this is trying to do. Yeah. I reckon this could be fun. I'm not in the right headspace for this. I'm going to go play a multiplayer. But I was like, I will come back to this. It's uninstalled currently. So apparently I failed on that.
No, and this is also the magic of YouTube and editing. Whereas like what I should do is just find someone who is amusing and funny and watch their edited, a half hour of an edited full playthrough of Pacific Drive, and then I can purge it from my system.
Yeah, but there's something about it that's not enough. Like, I've watched many, many, many videos on the Metal Gear franchise. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like I've played them because I've watched so many, not Super High Rules, Super Bunny Hop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Okay.
His video series on just the series is just immaculate. It's so well done, and it really made me fall in love with the world and the games. But I'm sure playing them is very different to consuming some of that. But there's also, I don't think we should feel shame in putting games down and waiting for another time, or feeling that it's not what you're in the mood for right now. Sometimes a game's a little too intense for that moment in your life. I think if you force yourself to play every game you come across, you're just going to fall out of love with the hobby. And
you mentioned Hollow Knight earlier. It took me a couple kind of dry runs to really get into Persona. Like, I played the first couple hours of Persona 5 a few times, and it just never really hooked me. And then one time, and maybe it was just whatever cosmic things were aligned, it super hooked me, and then it's become one of my favorite series. So
sometimes you just need to wait for that. Let it happen.
I think that's like a really like mature and nuanced point.
I hate that.
Fuck that. bad.
Counterpoint. What about that?
Counterpoint. Chump.
What do you have on your backlog? What do you have on Jack? What do you have on your I think I'll actually get to this backlog? Do you have any I'm playing this, I'm planning to literally play this summer, that kind of thing?
The thing I just bought a couple games, and one is like high up on my list because it looks like it's something I can complete easy. It's like a little 2D platforming Metroidvania called Babushka's Glitch Dungeon.
Oh yeah, I've been playing that.
Yeah. What's the name?
Babushka's Glitch
Dungeon. It looks,
you know what? It
looks light. It looks like, I can finish this in 5 to 10 hours. I will enjoy that.
Yes.
There's another game called Deadeye Deepfake Simulacrum.
I like the sound of that.
Deadeye Deepfake Simulacrum. On paper is a game I will really enjoy. I'm very overwhelmed by the concept of it because, as Eric is showing you now, it looks like a lot of a game.
Oh yeah, that is holy moly.
But it looks like something I could really just kind of lose my brain into, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. So
you need to have the right time of day, the right day to really tackle that stuff.
Exactly, but like I just finished up editing the final episode of this season of Adventures 9, so it's like, I'm gonna have a little more free time. I have breathing room to really dive into a game, so I'm really looking forward to those two.
100%.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys got Kong fever? Are we gonna all be Konging? Can we all agree everyone who bought a Switch 2 is gonna be Konging?
Can we get in the Kong room together? Can we all hold hands?
Conference room?
The
conference room?
Oh, we just a little conference call.
It could be fun. Kong could be fun. I'm just excited to justify my purchase of a Switch 2.
I was about to say, because all of us have mentioned all these games that we want to play, and none of them are on the $500 hardware we just bought.
Honestly, I haven't touched the Switch 2 since I played most of Mario Kart.
Because I don't got Dune on there.
I know, but I will say this: I will probably be on my way to Seattle when that game comes out, so I might be able to become
on the plane, cross country.
I might be part of the Mile Kong Club.
Yeah, the Mile High Kong Club. Yeah. Yeah, I've been bouncing back and forth. Death Stranding 2 is taking up most of my time, but I've been doing a little bit of the Persona Gacha game because I need to Death Stranding feels like I'm eating healthy. And the Persona 5 Gacha game is like the garbage I put in my body.
At least he knows. It's like when people are doing tar heroin, they understand that they're not doing
little broccoli,
it for
little McDonald's. We balance it out.
Little broccoli, little.
Let's plug these arteries, these mental arteries, with some gacha.
I'm still futzing away at night when I'm zoning out the X-Files. I'll be clearing more shrines in Breath of the Wild because I just took on Switch 2 because I want to play something on there, and I was like, by the way,
wait, how's it been running on the Switch 2?
Oh, like butter.
It does.
Holy
it
moly.
does run real nice. I
have a video going up later this week that Jesse Schwab did an incredible job of editing. That is a video essay on my thoughts on the Switch 2, and I kind of talk about how it's just like it just does everything the first Switch kind of should have done, and we didn't realize it.
It's how I described it as it being when someone would ask me to describe what I thought Breath of the Wild looked like. Like in my memory, it is like playing the memory of what I thought it was.
Yeah. And then you see it on the original Switch, you're like, no, that wasn't. I didn't put it.
But I had the exact same problem. I think this is another thing with backlogs. I went on with my previous save of Breath of the Wild, got in, saw it was gorgeous, and I was like, wow, I'm really eager to do a playthrough of this. This is great. I was like, I don't want to start a new one. But then I was like, but I have no idea where I am or what I'm doing.
Or what you've already done. Yeah, and you're like, but do I really want to do like the Great Plateau again?
You go to restart again, you're like, there's so much. And you just go, and I just went, I'll go play Dune Awakening. I'll go do the other thing.
Yeah.
You know? So
fair. That's fair.
That is lovely. I love that. All right, let's transition over to super chats. We got a bunch of them. As an apology, not from us, but from Google. For some reason, it's showing people's @ handles instead of names. So apologies if I dox anyone. I'm just reading the name. I'm reading the name God has given me. So apologies there. And remember, we're so close to meeting our monthly goal of, speaking of adding to the backlog, one of my piles of shame has been Bethesda games as a whole. The Fallout, the Elden Ring series, and I'm gonna give a real try. I'm gonna see credits.
I'm so excited to have you play Fallout. Something that has come up in my feed a lot lately, and I know like we're supposed to get to super chats now, but guess what? We're podcasting more. Something that has come up in my feed lately is like, oh, I'm a noob at this game, so I'm going in blind, and I fucking love them. There has been a series of like, I know Dark Souls is a good game. I'm not learning a thing about it. I'm just gonna log my journey playing through the game, and like these people are full of humor and love, and like they get it, but it's frustrating. Oh, more nom nom nom.
Yeah. And this isn't like a pulling teeth thing. Like I've wanted to play these games. I like the Fallout TV show. I'm going to Las Vegas in a week.
Is it a similar thing to like with what I described with Final Fantasy and MGS, where it's just like you just don't know where to start? It's like where do I?
It's a little overwhelming because I'm someone who very much I like to start from the beginning of things, and I was not playing those games from the beginning.
Interesting journey for Fallout.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Fallout is I don't like I see the isometric Fallouts, and I'm like that's not my thing. I just know that's not my thing. Like how you said with the altars, Jack.
If I could see the top of the head of some dude, get me out of here.
I want to see what's going on. I want to see what's going on underneath there.
Top of the head, I want
top of the head,
back of the head, and back of the shoulders only.
Famously, we all hate Zelda games, top-down Zelda games. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to jump into that. Raven starting things off. Thank you so much, Raven, with a $2 dono. Raven's weekly word of the week. Week 7, avarice. And then follows it up with, since Yahtzee isn't here today, avarice, extreme greed or desire. Also hijack.
Ooh,
I actually know what avarice was. Look at that. This has been 2 word of the weeks I knew.
Nice. Avarice.
Time to be
so someone can be full of avarice, and it's like a step above greed.
Yeah.
I associate
turn on the news, you're going to see a lot of people filled with avarice.
Dragons. That's good, Jay.
Yeah. The nerdiest thing I've ever done was when I was working in a school.
Wait a minute.
And
how many hours do you have logged into the new Dune game, and you're about to say the nerdiest thing you've ever done? Okay, no, I'm just getting on your page. All right.
No. Yeah, the nerdiest thing I've ever done was I was in a class reading of The Hobbit. The students were reading, and I was like studying under the teacher and stuff, and they were talking about dragons and Smaug and stuff like that. Yeah. And they were talking about gold and why dragons hoard wealth and blah blah blah. And I didn't interrupt the teacher, but in this lull of conversation, I was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, dragons like to hoard, treasure for a lot of reasons to effectively armor their bellies. That's why they sleep on it, because they have soft underbellies, along with greed and stuff like that." Yeah. And the teacher was like, "All right," just moved on. In that moment, I was like, "Have I gone too far?"
Yes.
These are like 12-year-old children. Why am I trying to teach dragon lore to these kids?
The children yearn for the dragons.
I was like, maybe education for the kids isn't for me. I'll go teach game dev.
Oh, I love that.
Kind of love
Shout out to Smog.
It's dumb.
Dragons are great. Ryan Betts, thank you so much for a $2 dono. Since Yachts is gone, lugubrious could mean anything. Lugubrious was one of our early word of the weeks, and let me tell you, I didn't know what it was. They told me what it was, and I've not remembered. And every week, people are like, "What do you remember? What lugubrious means?" And I say no, and then they tell me what it means.
I'm going to guess that it means well lubricated or moisturized.
Sure,
no,
but Yahtzee's not here. There's no way to know what it means.
Great, perfect.
I mean,
do you actually remember what it meant, Jay?
Full of avarice, like Luigi.
Can't pick up this glass. It's too slippery. It's too lugubrious.
Too lugubrious.
Yeah,
I've been putting.
Lugubrious sounds like an NPC from Adventures Now.
Yeah,
it's just that voice you did. It was like, I'm lugubrious. It just sounded like.
I spent a lot of time outside in the sun the past few days. I got a little bit. I got a tan going on, a burn. Put some aloe on there, and let me tell you, that boy, I was lugubrious for a little while.
You were
twice a day.
Up, dude.
I am very lugubrious.
You were lubed.
That sounds correct. That sounds.
Words of jazz. It can mean whatever we want.
It sounds correct, but it feels wrong. Carry on.
Sure. Yeah, like the aloe. Superb owner, thank you so much for re-upping in the tip jar. And then a $10 dono. Gents, what do you use to track your backlogs? Notes app, Excel docs, etc. I use the Backlogged site. That's Backlog, an extra G and a D. Backlog, there you go. Eric put it up. Since it's the most similar to Goodreads / Letterboxd, despite it not having a proper app. Cheers. I've heard of this Backlogged, and I have a letterbox that I am woefully behind in keeping track of. But no, I keep apps, or I keep a note apps on my phone of, like I said, almost like in the year where it's like I knew Death Stranding 2 was coming out this summer, and so I had a note, hey, in like April or May, I want to replay Death Stranding 1. So like I kept, it's almost like a forward-looking calendar, and then I just keep a list of all the games I play and that kind of shit. I don't have like a full list of like, here's every game I want to play, because that would seem scary.
That would seem overwhelming. I do like, I have a list.
My Steam library.
I do.
Well, you buy them. That is just your Steam library, right?
That's fair. No, that's fair. I have a list on my phone. If a movie comes to mind that like I want to watch, I will put it on a list on my phone. For games, it is we are just reaching into a barrel of goop and pulling out what comes out. I don't keep track of, like, I know other people have kept track of like, oh, this is every movie I've watched. This is every game I've played this year. I tried to do that once. It got tedious. So I
do that. I just on a notes app, and I'll just be the day and whatever I watched or played.
You're a big notes guy though, right? Like you keep notes of like upcoming games and like, things like that. Yeah,
which is weird. I'm not like that in most things in my life. I'm not like a what is it, type A, or like some when I go on vacation, I'm not like, here's everything we're gonna do beat by beat or everything. I'm very like loosey goosey, laissez-faire. Ooh, those sound
to keep
weird,
track. I don't have a good relationship with lists.
Yeah. There you go.
I legit went to the shops like a few days ago, wrote down 5 things on the list, and came back with 4 of them because I just didn't look at the list when I got in the store.
To check the list.
I definitely. When I go to the grocery store, I absolutely need to make a list.
Yeah,
100%.
But then you have to check the list. That's the second part of the.
But all the shiny things. Look at all the colorful things in the store. And then suddenly I'm outside with none of the things I need.
You need like to make a list of things to do the second you enter a store, and the first thing is like breathe, and then it's like get a shopping cart. Don't make eye contact.
The first
with
thing
any
is
strangers.
look at the fucking list, and I don't do it.
This is a pre-list. It'll be fine. Geldon, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Here's some words of the day for this talented lot that Yahtzee might not know: Z-fighting, blue materia, and transfarring. See? He doesn't know all our favorite made-up words. Transfarring was what Hideo Kojima created when you could have a save for a game and play it on Vita as well as PS3. The same save file.
I thought that was the technology he patented that could scan actresses' feet from a distance.
But when you find out why their feet are scanned, you will feel bad. Yeah, that was a transfarring video.
She breathes through her feet.
She breathes through her feet. Shout out to Mark McDonald of 84. He's great. Fuzzy Freestyle, thank you so much for a $2 dono. My backlog ensures that I'll never be bored. That's good. And if you're being economical with it, you're like, it's like, it'd be silly of me not to buy this game for $1, which I think is the root of the whole problem. I think I'm
going to see how many games I can buy in the time we go through suppy chats. I'm going to see how many games I can buy.
Oh no! Consumerism has gone wild.
Jess just looked at me and was like, "Stop it."
Yes, thank you, Jess.
Foss, thank you so much for a $5 dono, a £5 dono. Since I've only gotten to Souls likes this year, I've got a big old backlog worth of Souls games to enjoy through the years of sales and PS Plus games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing of just like giving games for, like, there'll be PlayStation Plus games for free, or Epic gives games for free. Amazon Prime gives games for free, and they don't go away. It's not like a Game Pass thing where they rotate their libraries. Like, you just have it forever, which is neat.
That's great.
Yeah, there's also, even if you have mobile, like if you have Netflix, you can pull up a bunch of cool indie games and play them on your phone. Like
they don't push that enough.
Amazing, right?
And you never think of that. Blue Material. I said Blue Materia. I was thinking of Final Fantasy. Apparently, Blue Material is Improv.
It's a comedy term. If you are working blue, that means you are saying language inappropriate for all ages.
Oh, gotcha. Abadi abada.
If you are working blue, that means you're telling jokes about peni and or yeah.
Oh, love a peanut.
Yeah.
Hroth 87. Thank you so much. Can't join, but have a fun happy summer from Denmark. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out to Denmark. Great place. Been there twice. I don't know if that wasn't a humble brag or anything. I just like Denmark.
It sounded like it. Do you want to talk more about your trips? Because it sounds like you want to mention.
Dread Pirate Mittens, thank you so much for $5 donor. With Yahtzee gone, instead of going to the British zone, maybe Jack and Marty should drag JM8 to the Midwest zone.
Oh my god. I've been meaning to come visit you guys up there.
You need a casserole.
Oh my god. Yeah, Friday fish fry.
Friday fish fry.
Yeah.
What?
Fish fry.
As in like fish and chips?
Yeah, basically, but because we're heavily we have a big Catholic base here. During Lent, Friday fish fries became a big thing, and they stick around all year. You can go just about to any restaurant and they will have a Friday fish fry. Some significantly better than others.
Yes.
There's a restaurant in Milwaukee called. Am I going to remember what it's called? No, I'm not. I'll remember it later. There's a restaurant that does potato encrusted batter that they deep fry the fish in. That is out of this world.
That sounds great.
Real good.
What other famous thing? Like, because I know there's like a bit of a stereotype for cheese because of the Packers, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all,
no, it's not even a stereotype for cheese. There's just a lot of cheese.
There's just a lot of cheese there.
Yeah, it's not even a stereotype. It's just the truth.
Yeah, Wisconsin is a dairy state. We have a lot of dairy farmers. The Packers were named after. I don't believe it was cheese Packers. I believe they were meat Packers.
Mm. That's the cheese.
So it literally means like Packers, as in you are packing stuff.
Like they were blue collar. Like we work in warehouses and pack things up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the baseball team is the Brewers, and it was literally from breweries because there were so many breweries in
Milwaukee.
So,
yeah.
Oh,
the Packers,
not a deer.
The Packers, one of the or the only NFL team. Marty, correct me if I'm wrong. That is community owned.
That is true. Yeah,
is it actually?
You can buy almost like buy like stock, quote unquote, in the team, and then you get like some vote in silly things. It'll be like, what brand of ketchup are we using this season? Yeah. You don't get to choose.
The Packers are the team of the people. Something very rare.
You get to oust Aaron Rodgers.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God.
Send him off to Pittsburgh. There you go. Sorry, Pittsburgh. P Boyle, thank you so much, P Boyle, with a $5 dono. On the plus side, my giant backlog of games has stopped me from chasing down a PS5 or a Switch 2, so the money issue may be a wash in my end. In the end, that is one thing. Is if you are able to exhibit self-control, which I don't think any of us are. Thus, this is the topic. You can. If you're fine being late to the party, like Patient Gamers is that whole subreddit where people are like, oh, I finally got around to playing whatever, Wolfenstein, that kind of thing. Like if you're willing to avoid FOMO, and it's a little bit hard sometimes in our job, but gaming can be a much cheaper hobby. Never a cheap hobby. It's always gonna be kind of expensive.
No.
Yeah. Pure Pyro, thank you so much for the dono. I bought Red Dead 1. Is the DLC the best zombie game ever? I love Undead Nightmare. Did you guys?
It is really good.
Play Undead Nightmare?
I played it on stream not too long ago. I think finding the 4 horses of the apocalypse might be one of my favorite gaming memories.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah, this sounds like a bit. It's like Jack's it genuinely does sound like I'm making that up, but it's amazing.
No, it is a very strange. It's something I wish more games did, where it's like, oh, for our DLC, we're going to use the assets we made for the core game, but then do a genre thing, which at that time we were getting some of those, like your Far Cry Blood Dragons, your Infamous had a vampire one, like Infamous Blood Knight or some trash like that. But I would love if Rockstar did more of that.
Yeah, have fun with your DLC.
I just bought a game.
I just Tsunami do sure.
I bought Star Wars Battlefront 2 because it's having a resurgence and it was on sale for cheap as chips. So
are you gonna when are you gonna play it? When's the plan to play
Never.
it? Son of a bitch.
Are you going to play single player or multiplayer?
I'll play multiplayer.
It had a big, there's like a lot of people are going back and playing it.
It's got a growing player base.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Andor Fever. Tsunami Doucher.
Certain Fever.
$20 dono says nothing. Thank you so much, Tsunami Doucher. As is his want. The Hawk with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. There are so many games I haven't gotten to try yet that AAA could not release a new game, and I'd still have more games available than I could play. Oh, I think that's every medium. They could stop making movies, stop releasing games, stop releasing books, stop releasing music, and I would never go hungry for any of those in my life. Yeah.
No, I'm going to talk about this on the Rewind podcast tomorrow, but the movies that were, released, forgotten about, you think are brand new, there is so many movies that you have never heard of that I'm sure are great.
Yeah.
I saw a trailer for a
the
movie.
Grand Budapest Hotel, anything else from Wes Anderson's.
I get it. I saw the Royal Tenenbaums. I get it.
You got F1 Fever?
I don't have
that Wes Anderson movie.
That's probably got to be one of the Andersons.
I would pay good money to watch Wes Anderson's F1. A lot of static cameras with fast cars going past, and then nothing.
The cars
for 10
are all
minutes.
like box cars, clearly. Yeah.
I won't say what the movie is, but I saw a trailer for a movie that looked to be like bizarro, slightly horror, atmospheric, like indie darling, Sundance thing, starring actors whom I enjoy. And I said, oh my God, fuck yeah, I'm so excited about this. When does it come out? It gets to the end of the trailer where it comes out in February. Wait, why am I getting a trailer for this if it comes out in February? Oh, it came out 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
Haven't heard of it because, of course, 5 years ago was 2020.
Well, that was literally COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You know what I think it is? I'm going to take a guess. It was Sonic the Hedgehog.
I saw Sonic the Hedgehog and
OG trailer Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
it was the
you guys know I'm making a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Check, sit down. I got news for you. There's 3 of those fuckers and a TV series that's surprisingly good about Knuckles. Helicon, thank you so much. In the tip jar for 19 months. Appreciate you, Helicon. Mirith with a $5 dono. I've spent the last 2 months in my off hours creating a web tool to try to categorize, to try to catalog and prioritize my game backlog so I could stop losing track.
That's awesome.
Oh.
I wonder if you put in the work, if it could actually feel like, oh, I put in the work beforehand and now I'm able to tackle my backlog more efficiently. I'm not that kind of person, but I guess I make the notes, which is kind of
You're talking about gamifying playing games.
Yeah, that's meta.
Steam should be doing this.
Which, by the way, I kind of like Steam should be doing something to incentivize you to play more games, leave more reviews. 100%.
They incentivize you to buy more because you get points for each game you buy, right? For the amount you spend, you get those
what do you use
border bucks, like borders and profile banners and stuff.
Bookstore? Oh, I don't care about any of that. I like Switch. They'll just give you a certain percentage of money back that you could spend on more Switch games if you buy digitally.
No, right? Because Steam does not care how many games you play. They only care how many games you buy. This is the gift card thing all over again. Billions of dollars lost to gift cards. Never buy a gift card, anyone. Just everyone give a gift card. Just give cash. Never give a gift card.
Also, check open drawers. Check your wallets, your purses. See if you have gift cards. Use them, and then never have them again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ryan Betts back. Thank you so much for another $5. Games just need to be shorter. They could solve inflated budgets, crunch culture, overpriced games, and most importantly, our giant backlogs at once. Yeah. That is one thing. Is when you do look at a backlog, a lot of times it'll be like, well, this one's only 5. You mentioned babushkas. You said that's probably 4 or 5 hours, and that's much less intimidating than Claire Obscure is going to take you 35 hours or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. I'm with you on that one.
That's why Jay only plays games like Dune. Is it weird that your favorite and least favorite games of the year seem to sound very similar?
Dune and Doom. Yeah, and then Yahtzee's like, you keep saying it like Dune, and it sounds like Doom. I'm like, he really gets on my ass about pronunciation stuff. I think it's because I'm British and he thinks he can. He
says it should be Dune.
Like Dune. No,
I was talking about dew. I was talking about collecting dew off the plants, and he was like, it's pronounced Dune.
And that is incorrect. He is wrong, and he is wrong about that.
He's also fake fancy. He presents his face. He presents his posh. He ain't posh.
It's those black shirts, dude.
Just because you make money, you ain't posh.
He likes to think he's old money, but he's actually more like old pennies.
Yeah.
I hope he's enjoying his vacation. Brain Surgeon with a €2 dono. Thank you so much. We must summon her. La la Ludo.
Ludo, come on. She's coming. No, not that way. Ludo, come here. Ludo,
well,
maybe.
Well, I'm getting there.
I'm getting there.
Cookie is asleep on the couch. Oh wait, maybe. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Boom! Why did you run over there?
Cookie is downstairs asleep on the couch, so I cannot summon her.
That's you there.
That is a
wait, Ludo.
Dog.
Give me high five. High five.
No, just she wants to be adorable. Oh,
she does gentle. Go on. Yeah, she's gentle. She's gentle.
Good.
That's Jess. Yeah, you want to go see her?
Do you want to not be on this fucking podcast anymore?
No, she doesn't want to be. She was hiding under the chair, and when I said "come here," she sprinted over the room. Oh,
she goes, "Quit monetizing me, Daddy. I didn't consent to this."
There you go.
Bless her.
Ludo is a reft. Super Serious Face with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Super Serious Face. I filter my games into custom folders: beaten, unbeaten, and multiplayer. Time comes to play a new game, I open up the unbeaten one and I pick one. See, I like these are some actual like useful ways of combating this. Yeah.
Steam does give us the option to make custom folders and organize your games. Yeah.
I have a beating folder, if you know what I mean. It's only got Dune in it.
Oh, I thought it was a crank. I thought that was a cranking thing.
It was a crank joke. It was a sandy crank.
No one should be cranking on Arrakis. All the sand, all the spice, how dry it is.
That's a waste of water. You shouldn't be cranking.
That's a waste of water. Still suits made. I made this. This one pervert made this still suit, and all the water goes to the crank zones. Jimmy T with a $10 dono. Thank you so much, Jimmy T. I'm okay with my backlog growth. A problem I didn't have as a kid was when I had 10 games and no money. Many game recommendations I buy and add to the backlog. The option is there to play them eventually. Yeah, because part of it is also like, if you were like us and grew up with like very limited choices, there is something freeing about being like, oh, I've created, and there's no video stores anymore, so it's like I've created my own video store with
True.
You could bury me with, even though it's all
and it smells the same as well. It's weird.
It smells the same. Jack has the same amount of bunch of crunch that a video store might have.
That's right. Yeah. No, they can't bury you with your Steam library, so make sure that in your will you include your Steam login so that your future generations can have your games. Because you can't gift your Steam library, so you need to gift your login information.
It's going to be my Viking funeral. Me and all my digital games, and you can fire an arrow out into the boat and set us ablaze as we make our way towards Valhalla.
Or fire a flaming arrow for every game you didn't play on your backlog.
There you go.
Oh my God, so many.
Chino's the Hedgehog. Thank you so much for a $2 donor. Most of my backlog is games from my teen/childhood. That's also old games. Old games you want to play. There's a lot going on out there.
Get them.
Sovereign with a €50 dono. Thank you so much, Sovereign. Don't mind me, just trying desperately to push the funding goal to completion before the end of the pod, which it looks like you did. So congrats to everyone there. Hell yeah. Also, if you don't mind, I just wanted to remind any EU citizens out there to sign Ross Scott's Stop Killing Games initiative, as we only have 1 month left. Absolutely. Actual friend of the show.
Friend of the show just gave an update, a big update video about some drama that I was not aware of.
Same.
Apparently there have been some people speaking ill of his lovely, lovely Stop Killing Games initiative. And those people seem allegedly like big old jerk faces.
Yeah.
That's lawyer speak.
Lawyer speak wise, I think that it's a complex topic, but I think it's all of it's coming from a good place. We all want what's best for games and for us as consumers.
No, I'm down with the consumer. You know what? I'm going to side with CEOs. They've been having a rough time.
Wait, you gotta be careful, dude. You might get banned from the Discord.
Oh no, shit. Cito's back again with another $5 dono. Thank you so much. A backlog game I hate is Danganronpa V3, where the ending was spoiled to me before I played it, and I'm mad about the message and basically wasted my money. Okay, so it was a game that was in your backlog, and then you found out how it ended, and you were so upset by the ending that you're like, "Oh, I want this out of my backlog forever." I like that. I like it.
This game was secretly about my complex relationship with my mother. For fuck's sake, I've wasted my money.
Ryan Betts with another $2. Thank you so much, Ryan Betts. I have 2 Adventure of Nye episodes on my backlog, so no spoilies, please.
Get to
them. It's a spoilies free zone. But yeah, we are less than 2 weeks away from the end.
There is a small chance that we might have to push it back, mostly because of me. The final episode was a doozy to edit, as it's wrapping up a whole season's worth of stuff. But we will see. Theoretically, we are less than 2 weeks away from the season 4 finale. Correct.
Beaut. Rally McFandango, thank you so much for a $20 dono. Get Marty to the Mojave. I like that a lot because I'm assuming 99% sure that's about Fallout New Vegas, but also I'm going to the Mojave Desert this weekend.
Oh, nice.
So there you go.
Nice.
The Mojav. I'm going to call it Mojav and see how that works. Yeah. Veritas, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Catching you guys on my lunch break. Hey, Jack, some sincere props for your ad reads. Thanks to you. I now say how make man jump 1 to 2 times a day.
This is like, I have messed around with Game Maker software, and this is a legitimate question I had to ask myself. It's like, wait, how do I make the man jump?
Yeah. Seems like it should be easy, but it's not.
Right.
I also love the idea that Veritas is saying that 1 to 2 times a day in just the most inappropriate spaces, like their third toilet break. How make man jump?
How make man jump?
Yeah. Whispering it in the middle of a funeral.
Also, like
whispering it to the corpse.
How make man jump?
I'll never know.
To share that shout out, Marty usually writes the first pass of the script, and we, obviously we work together a lot, and kind of you know my voice very well as far as like how you write the scripts, and so
a lot of times I like send us down a goof path, and then you'll lay the foundation of said goof path.
Exactly.
Like, they'll be fine. They're like Captain Planet. You can make IKEA jokes. Scandinavian
100% make IKEA jokes.
Hell yeah. And then Cito's the Hedgehog back with another with a $2 dono. I'm Alex Armstrong, by the way. Google reversed my name. God damn it, Google. Sorry, Alex.
What are you doing?
We did it. I will remember.
What are you doing,
going
Google?
Forward. There's probably no way I'll remember going forward.
There's no way.
Armed Karma with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. I have 15 terabytes of storage. Choice paralysis is real.
Amazing.
Hachi-machi. A genuine hachi-machi.
Oh my gosh.
Incredible. Blistered Soul with a £2 dono. Should we all play an hour of every game we have? That would be thousands of hours. That would be so many hours. That'd be too many hours. That's too many hours.
I would be there for 1,000 hours. Over 1,000 hours.
That's too many hours.
So many hours.
I'll be dead by then.
We'll be dead. You'll be dead in 1,000 hours? That's very soon.
I've bought another game.
Oh, what'd you buy?
Cult of the Lamb.
Wasn't Jess a big fan of that one? She likes lambs.
Are you going to
Jess, you like Cult of the Lamb? Yeah.
Are you going to play Cult of the Lamb?
Nope.
Why?
I'm gonna be honest. I'll be
honest with you. As soon as this is over, I'm playing more Dune. I'll be real straight with you.
I enjoyed my little time with Cult of the Lamb, but why are you buying Cult of the Lamb if you're not going to play it?
Because maybe, just like with Hollow Knight, Jay in 4 years' time might watch a YouTube video on Cult of the Lamb and be like, "Damn, I reckon that's pretty good. Oh, I own it. Thanks, past me. You're the best."
Son of a bitch.
Also, I know rampant consumerism and capitalism is a major problem. Sometimes it just feels good to buy something.
I did that. Nice Switch was the worst one for me. It was a period of my life where I was feeling mighty down, and buying physical Switch games became like therapy. Like I'd go out and be like, I'm gonna buy a Switch game, and I'd feel a little bit better.
Yeah, about $200 worth of Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards. I don't intend on playing the game. Every time I unpack one, open a pack, it makes me a little happy.
I
So I
would
save
be
them for when
playing.
I'm sad.
If I had any knowledge of the Final Fantasy games, I would be playing the shit out of that. But
I
I've
have
stopped
so many Final
myself
Fantasy
buying them because of that.
I have so many Final Fantasy 14 cards, so I'll run them down with you so you can tell me what all these weirdos are about. Zoobmare, thank you so much. Zoob, we're the $5 dono. Backlog is especially tough when service games create a long forward log. Getting deep into gacha in 2024 was a problem. That is interesting. The idea of a forward log of like, I'm getting into a game that is not only going to take up the time of the game, but is going to continue to take up time.
Right.
Because if this is a forever game, if this is Fortnite or an MMO or something.
And that's where multiplayer games get really rough as well because of FOMO and games becoming the game. Sure. And then if your friends have been playing and they're a little bit too far, again, I'll speak about Dune. I have friends who have seen how much I've been playing it and my friends have been playing it, but have been like, you're too far ahead of me. I don't want to play because I will take me ages to catch up. And by the time I catch up, you'll probably stop playing. And it's like, but there's going to be more content. And games trying to become your only game is a curse, honestly. It's not healthy.
Yeah. All of your games are that.
Right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about Dune right now.
Yeah, you're thinking about Dune right now. Superb Owner, thank you so much for the $5 dono. I wish Valve/Team Cherry felt as pressed about their backlog of unreleased games as I do about my backlog of unplayed games. We're gonna get listen. Silksong's coming out this year. It's gonna get shadow dropped at the next Switch 2 Direct. Mark my words. I also guaranteed it was going to be shadow dropped at the Xbox Showcase a month ago. So
I also swear it was going to be shadow dropped at the Switch 2 release, saying it didn't.
Our word means nothing.
No.
Bookworm with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Bookworm. I learned not to buy anything unless I will play it in the next month. I also don't work in games media. That's a healthy way of doing it.
Yeah.
Treat it like groceries. You buy groceries and you're like, I'm not just going to buy ham. You got to buy ham with the thought of I'm going to eat some ham at some point.
Okay, wait, I'm going to be sometimes I will buy things that I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to eat this week. And I end up not, and it goes bad. And it's like, But then
you get to throw it away and it's not taking up space.
Exactly. Yeah. Games should not go bad, by the way. I'm not saying games should go bad.
What if games like started to rot a little bit? Digital games
What if they
rot?
automatically got refunded if you didn't install them after 2 months or something? That would suck.
Or like with every passing day, they're worth a little bit less. Like the play keeps going down. It's
you lose access to it, and you only get a $1 refund for your $60.
Yeah, what is that thing the basilisks do? Where like every time you die and they curse you, you get like half a health bar. It just keeps doing that. There's like a half-life to what your games are worth.
Yes,
I
love it. Love it.
Alex Armstrong back with another $2. Thank you so much. Geez, there's a lot of Lego games in my backlog. Yet you think there's a lot of games in your backlog, and then you remember an entirely new corner of games, and you're like, shit, yeah. Yep. I did want to play all of the NHL games, starting with NHL 93 from the hit film Swingers. Shout out to Swingers.
You're just a big fucking bear. You're just a big fucking bear with these big fucking bear claws.
Superb Owner, thank you so much for a $2 dono. Could a neat backlog be described as a Calypgian? Is that a word any of us knows?
Calypgian is the genre of music that's like shake, 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 Sonora, shake your body right, work, 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 Sonora, work it all the time. My God,
that was a good Calypso joke. I liked it. Calypgian having well-shaped buttocks. Why don't you just say my neat backlog is a tight ass?
Why don't you call that what the kids call it now, which is damn?
Think about it. I hope you're all thinking about it. Butt talk. Zoob back with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Zoob. Quote, I should play a game or watch a show, end quote. Spends 10 hours a day on YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Facebook, tweeting apps, etc. instead. Yeah. That's one of those humbling things is when your phone will every week it'll be like, oh, by the way, I was keeping track of everything you're doing on here, and here's the mirror into your soul, and you're like, no, that's not good.
No.
That's too much.
It's way too much.
It's too much.
I just bought 3 more games.
Son of a bitch.
What were they? Babushka's Mystery Dungeon?
Citizen Sleeper.
That's a great one.
Mouthwashing.
Also a great one. It's funny you bought it.
And Evil West, because Yahtzee's been on about that for a while. Sounds
Are you
good.
making all of these? So you're making just a bunch of different transactions instead of like waiting and making one big one?
Yeah.
Your credit card's gonna be like, did you get stolen?
Yeah, that's
I guess
happened
it would
before.
be your bank saying that. Your credit card wouldn't ask
that.
you.
That's
if you were
happened
stolen.
before, yeah.
This is what Jay is doing right now. So Jay, what basically like, because come tax time, sometimes your accountant will say, "Hey, do you have proof that these were business expenses?" And Jay can now clip this part of the podcast and say, "Look, like I bought these while we were talking about buying games. This is 100% work-related purchase."
I can't use that because I immediately followed it up with me saying I'm never going to play them.
We can edit that. We can edit around that. It's fine.
We can edit around that.
I feel like we need to earmark 1 year from today when Yahtzee goes on his next summer vacation. The three of us get back together, and then we ask Jay, "Did you play any of those games you bought?"
Okay, everyone remember, it's Battlefront 2, Cult of the Lamb, Evil West, Citizen Sleeper, and Mouthwashing. We will come back, and I will come with receipts, with playtime receipts.
Hold on, wait, Jay. I'm gonna take this one.
Make a calendar invite.
I'm going to make a calendar event, and I'm going to invite you two to the calendar event
for the end next year, the end of June, the last episode of June.
Okay, hold on. We are creating.
So it's now becoming real because I've just got all the PayPal receipts on my phone, and now I feel bad.
Okay, Jay needs to play. What are the games again? Cult of the Lamb.
Cult of the Lamb, Evil West, Citizen Sleeper, Mouthwashing, and Jess is gasping because she likes them, and Star Wars Battlefront 2, which you love, right?
Mouthwashing will be easy. Mouthwashing is like 90 minutes long. Unless you're going for 100%.
I've watched Jess try and do a 360 no scope with a gun to get an achievement.
No scope mouthwashing, which is ironic because scope is what you need for a mouthwash. Anyone?
Like 2 hours. Okay, I take it back.
A fucking scope joke landed on nothing.
I am creating a work-related calendar event for a goof, friend. I can't listen to other jokes.
You're all monsters. Mr. Movies, etc. with a $5 dono. Thank you, Mr. Movies. I've learned to accept that there will always be some anxiety with a backlog, but I can outweigh that with I'll never be bored, and I love that feeling. It is nice. It is nice knowing that you'll never be bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
That being said, all of us are bored at certain times too, so there's actually no way to stop that.
It's also what we were saying, and then Indie Mouse also chipped in on as well. It's okay to be bored with the things you're currently doing. Do not always force yourself to go into a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a big proponent of being bored. I think being bored is one of the best things you can do, especially as a creative person. You have to be bored sometimes because that's what makes you do stupid, weird shit.
Think about that. Yeah. You know where Star Wars came from? George Lucas was bored.
Yeah.
He's also probably high. And he watched Throne of Blood.
And his wife was a really good editor.
His wife was a really good editor. There you go. Okay. Alex Armstrong. Oh, did you make it?
Did you just get a ding?
I don't even know where I would get a ding.
You just got, if you check your work email, I got
a ding. Yeah.
Jay, you too. You check your email.
I did just get a ping. I also got someone in Discord reminding me. Thanks for that ping. I also just got someone in Discord telling me that some of the games I just bought were in Humble Bundle a few months ago. So I have codes for them, but just haven't put them on my account.
Beautiful. Truly beautiful. Alex Armstrong, thank you so much for the $5 dono. I also had that birthday game moment, JM8. I had to choose between Sonic Adventure DX or Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and like a ponce, I chose Sonic first, DK later. I mean, Jungle Beat, you needed bongos to play that. That was the platformer where you had bongos. That was only for 3 games: Jungle Beat, Donkey Konga, and Donkey Konga 2.
Yeah.
Was Sonic was that probably worth a lot? No?
Was that the one? Was Sonic Adventure DX the one for the DS?
No, that was it was the zhushed up GameCube port of the Dreamcast Sonic Adventure.
Gotcha.
Like the first good 3D Sonic Adventure.
guys remember Guitar Hero for the DS, where it had that weird attachment that you would play?
Yeah, I never played it, but like,
DS?
yeah, the weird like
And you'd have to
colored-
strum and play at the same time. It was awful.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
there it is. Oh my god, dude.
what a nightmare.
Really cool. Also mega cringe. It's striding that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare. Thank you so much, Alex. Inverse Guys, thank you so much for re-upping in the Green Gang. Appreciate you, Inverse Guys. And then Eric giving us the arses. As a kid, I finished a single game dozens of times. Try to guess it. Hints for Genesis. You play as a blue furry character. I know where this is going. You move fast. A villain is an evil scientist. You save a girl of the same species but pink. And plot twist, it's made by Konami. I think I know this game. Is it a Tiny Toons game? You play as a blue critter trying to save the pink critter. Get fucked. It was a Tiny Toons game.
Yes, you know this one.
Might have been like Buster Bust Loose. There was a game called Buster Bust Loose. Isn't that insane? Someone would make
That
a
is
game.
Get in the crank room.
Which is
Listen,
busting in there.
There was a hit song saying "Bustin' makes me feel good." Like, let's just put that out there.
It's also true. Which one was? I don't think I played any of the Sega Genesis ones, Eric's. Which one was this? Good looking game. By the way, Tiny Toons, that's good stuff.
Tiny Toons good stuff, yeah.
Yeah. The Plastic Roses with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Plastic Roses. I have a deal with my spouse that I will play 1 hour of a game he suggests because I quit games so quickly. Now, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a favorite of mine.
Oh,
so maybe I'll need to get into like bets. Is that the way to get through our bet? Like little gambling, like healthy, little healthy gambles.
Yeah, they all start as healthy gambles, Marty.
Yeah.
So, like sometimes you do like obviously anytime you start any new creative process, whether it be a game, a movie, or whatever, like you need to go in with an open heart. You need to be willing to accept some stuff. But there are some games that I have definitely started not liked, but like pushed through the pain because I was like, I know I'm going to like this eventually. You know, like I pushed through the muck.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to get through the muck.
Doom the Dark Ages.
Dune to the Dark Ages. Inverse Guys with an $8 Australian dono. Thank you so much, Inverse Guys. My backlog keeps growing with retro stuff I find in old magazines. Probably don't have time to play Mr. Nuts or Alfred Chicken for the SNES, but I want to.
Alfred Chicken?
Why not?
Mr.
Go get him.
Nuts?
Go play.
I don't even know
go
either
get
of these
your hand on
games.
Mr. Nuts.
Oh, that's got to be. I was going to say, is that Alfred Chicken or Mr. Nuts? But that's got to be Mr. Nuts because it's a squirrel.
Yeah.
And he's jumping on baskets of nuts.
There's Alfred Chicken. Why are the blocks in this game just letters?
That is the most game I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah, it's video game. Congrats on Alfred Chicken for making video game. Superb Owner with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Superb Owner. I still have that Concord game that released a while back on my backlog. I'll get around to playing it someday.
Well, if the Stop Killing Games initiative goes through, you will be playing Concord.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Future
it's not
Concord.
retroactive.
Yeah, it would have to be future.
God damn
future
it!
Concords.
Read the thing.
I just saw it and signed it and then left.
That's how I get signed up to the weirdest mailing list.
I could have just signed up to have like my firstborn liquidized or something.
Yeah, you could have.
Like,
Read
video
the things
games,
inside.
have it.
Video games. That sounds nice. Mindule, thank you so much for a $2 dono. Too bad you can't sell used digital games, eh?
Right?
I had a fear when I came to the US, and I got new like bank accounts and stuff. I had to change all of my payment options to, US dollars.
Sure.
And most of the accounts I had were like, oh, you cannot use this American bank account because your account is English and there's certain laws and stuff. You have to make a completely new account. And it was looking like Steam was going to make me do that. Luckily, it didn't. But there was this flash of like however old my Steam account is with thousands of games. They were like, you're not going to be able to have these anymore. Bye. And I my life flashed before my eyes. But luckily we got it sorted.
There you go.
Ugh,
See, this could
terrifying.
happen to you. Let this be a cautionary tale. Hunter Rose, thank you so much for a $10 dono. Just started Majora's Mask since I never finished it as a kid. Definitely feel that I don't want to think definitely feel the whole thing where I don't want to think where I'm looking at my game library. I'll say heck it and jump into Dark Tide or Super Metroid again. See, everyone has comfort food games. There's nothing wrong with those.
Yeah.
And then Hunter used their 1-year membership to say also Dr. Light was named after Thomas Edison. That actually makes sense. I found out. So Dr. Light is the man who created Mega Man. In doing my research for my Pragmata video last week, I found out his first name was Thomas. Thomas Light. I didn't know that. And that makes sense. He could have been Nikola Light, though. Because everyone knows Nikola Tesla. True genius. Thomas Edison, get wrecked. I learned that from the Prestige, honestly. Christopher Nolan wouldn't lie to us, would he?
I absolutely love that movie. So good.
It's a really good movie. Shout out to the third Nolan brother. Then Alex Armstrong with a $2 dono. All these Yakuza games, I'm still not sick of Zero. See, and that's another franchise where it's like, I want to play the Yakuza games. So you're like, here's 9 mainline entries and like over half a dozen spin-offs.
That's me. I own 5 of them in Steam, and I haven't done I haven't touched any of them.
Here is possibly 400 hours worth of game.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And then Alex Armstrong, thank you so much for a $2 dono. As a fan, I'm curious why all the Sonic hate, JM8. What did Sonic?
Because they're shit. Because the games are bad.
Because the games
Sonic
are bad.
Adventure is good. Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic Adventure.
No, in all reality, there's 2 sides of it. One is that I find when you compare it to other games involving, small plumbers, I find the speed of just like the flow of Sonic games very jank. I find this focus on speed and then like slamming into stuff and stopping, and then the slower platforming being really weird, and I just find it very jank. And also very similar to Warhammer, I find a lot of the fan base extremely cringe. So
many things I love have terrible fan bases. Though.
Yeah,
like
all of the things I love have terrible fan bases.
I don't think there is such thing as a good fan base. You can find good
I agree. I just feel like the bad side of the Sonic fan base is the loudest, and it makes me go. And I just don't really like the games. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I like it when he kisses the woman.
I know.
Celebrial with a $10 dono. Thank you so much, Celebrial. God, I hope Steam doesn't go down for a few decades, because at this rate, my backlog is only going to be depleted when I retire. I've got something like 6 dozen games in my 2 playlist on Steam. There's also that kind of worry of like, could they ever just turn it off?
They could.
They could just turn it off.
Like they probably won't. But remember, any game you purchase via Steam, you do not own. You are licensing the right to play it. Yeah. If Steam locks its doors, all of them are gone.
I feel like it would be sad, but then you'd kind of feel like Tim Robbins in The Shawshank Redemption when he finally gets out of the thing and he just feels the rain on him.
You feel the rain of losing shit and came out a free man. Yeah,
they meet up in Zuwantaneo. SVS Guru with a €5 dono. Thank you so much. Do you still write your shopping list on paper, or do you use your mobile phone, also called a handy in Germany? Okay, a couple things I want to talk about here. Well, I still write mine. I just have a notes app on my phone. Do you guys use notes apps on your phone?
I use a notes app on my phone.
Okay. Can we talk about the fact that mobile phones are called handies in Germany? Handies. H-A-N-D-Y.
Someone else in England, yeah.
Yeah. You call them handies over there?
Yeah,
too?
Ironically, I got my first handy as a teenager. I was like... So I didn't really understand how to take notes digitally until I got my first handy.
So we're just going to allow that sentence to play out unobstructed. Great.
I'm glad the episode's not sponsored, so I don't have to apologize to anyone. It's fine. It's fine.
This episode is sponsored by Game Maker.
It's fine. Incredible. It literally took me aback. Holy Moses.
Took me back too.
Witticism with a $5 dono. I'm really happy with the state of my backlog at the moment. A tactic that's helped me is not buying games when I know I won't get to them before the next sale.
Yeah,
that's like, I think that probably means you have like a decent sense of self-control just in life in general. Maybe you don't have like not an addictive personality, but what's the word I want to say? You make compulsive decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it too much. Just intend to consume, buy, and then don't consume. You're like an Ouroboros, just spending money and not using, not actually consuming the thing you spend money on.
Jay, Eric doesn't know what a handy is, so maybe if you want to explain your joke right now, I think that would be really helpful to the podcast.
Right, okay.
The whole handy
Let me
joke.
explain this whole joke for people who didn't get it. All right, so...
To everyone, in laborious detail.
Handy, apparently in Germany, is your little mobile. When I was a teenager, I got my first, mobile phone. I had a little aerial. It was great fun. Learned how to text with the free, with the letters on each individual numbered key.
Key9. Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah.
And also, it's something else.
Yeah. Handy is a slang term for a hand job, which is hand intercourse.
Yeah, which is...
I actually don't know what the non-slang term is.
It's slang for manual labor, right?
It's when someone else plays with your genitals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric said he knew that one, didn't know the German one. The German one was how we got there, Eric. What do you mean you didn't know the German one? That was the part that was on the show.
Eric's like, I knew the wank one, guys.
We're going to get in trouble. We talked about hand jobs with a coworker who didn't know what a hand job was. Oh my God. What have we done?
I thought this joke was going to be a little bit coy, but now this has gone full blown.
Yeah,
it's not masturbation. Masturbation is not the technical term. This is
a full blown handy. This is a handy, and now it's full blown. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember back before there were smart handies? Everyone just had flip handies. Dumb handies.
No one knew what they were doing. It was
minutes of my handy. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Elfin Lied 89. Elfin Lied, I think, is a really horny anime. I don't mean to blow up your spot because you just gave us money, but that's the only thing I know about Elfin Lied. I believe it's a horny anime. Noita is a good game. I have nothing more to add. Noita is a game I've watched videos on that seems fascinating. Yeah. And that's that game that's like a 2D, it almost looks like Terraria, but it has like a full-blown like fucking chemistry system or something to it.
It's made in its own engine because it was the only thing that could handle the amount of physics system that they have.
Yeah.
Mental.
Look at that crumbling. Look at how good that looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when you play it, it is a good game. It does not hold your hand at all. And the game wants you dead. So it's a lot of restarting and trying to figure out what's happening, which is for some people.
But it seems really cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Elfin Lied. Didacladios. Oh my God. What did I say that name? With a €5 dono, thank you so much. I think after a certain amount of time, games you bought but haven't played should be a tax write-off because it's basically a charitable donation.
Start up an LLC, which you can do for very cheap, and then start up a YouTube channel that you plan on monetizing. Then every game you buy is a tax-deductible research.
Think about it. Think about it. Don't think about it. That seems like a lot of work. Maybe just buy fewer games.
Or just buy fewer games.
Buy fewer games. One of them. Nick Warden, thank you so much for a $33.94 dono. I believe that was one that got us over the edge. Couldn't have done it without you, Nick.
I'm very excited. We'll have to start planning out when Marty starts playing.
Yeah, listen, I'll be ready when I'm back from summer vacay. We can start.
Nice.
Sorry I am late. Thank you so much for a $5 dono. On film backlogs, I watched Faster Pussycat Kill for the first time last week. Special showing in 35mm. Amazing stuff all around. See, I feel like rep theaters are a good way to get through a movie backlog because it's also like a communal experience and like, we're doing this on a Friday night. I wish there was the equivalent in games. I don't know. Maybe that's like watching games done quick or something, or like
maybe
watching a streamer play games, but it still takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Do you count if you've watched someone play a full game? Does that count? Like, what in your mind? How have you consumed that game?
You haven't played that game, but you have experienced that game.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Watching somebody else play a game you want to play that's some weird video game cuckery. I'm not sure.
Weird video game cuckery. Shout out to our audience. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. What the cuckarinos
I've told you guys about the cuck chair before, right? Have you ever noticed when you go to a hotel, they always have like
podcast have you invited me to?
Was Yahtzee the one keeping this normal?
Which is weird, right?
Yeah, was not expected. Oh, do I move on to is it my turn again?
I'm not gonna finish the cuck chair thought. I'm not gonna curse people with this knowledge.
Blue McNeil. Blue McNeil with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Blue McNeil. Only a couple more of these left. Anyone in Magic the Gathering Arena to play Final Fantasy cards? Jumbo Cacatuar. No. Magic the Gathering Arena, I believe, is a digital version of Magic the Gathering, where you could play Magic the Gathering online. But I don't know anything about that, and I'm just buying cards because I like the art on them and I like collecting things. I've not gotten a Jumbo Quackatoire, and I've also not gotten a Fat Chocobo, both of whom I want. Although yesterday I did get Balthier and Fran from Final Fantasy 12, and the way I described them to people who in my stream who didn't know who they were was they're like Han Solo and Chewbacca if they also fucked.
That's how you get a Fat Chocobo.
What happened to this podcast? We're really going downhill, aren't we?
You're also like near the end. Like the wheels came off 95% through this thing. Raven, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Appreciate you, Raven. Jack and team, serious question. How much would I have to donate to get a ZP style NPC that looks like me named Raven into the next season of Adventure is Nigh?
If I can we can call them Raven, I get to come up with the last name of my choosing. Message Nick, and we will come up with a price for you.
That feels like it. There you go. I've just thought of a way to fund season 5.
Open the floodgates.
Maybe. We'll see.
Bad idea.
We'll see.
Bad idea. Yeah. Mind Duel, thank you so much, Mind Duel. Wait, was Yahtzee actually keeping away the horny? I know, right? Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Yahtzee could have kept away the horny?
It's unstoppable now.
It is.
You've grown too large.
Then Shawshank, sorry, I missed your message earlier. Apologies, Shawshank. Danganronpa V3's ending is a masterpiece. Oh no, so we've gotten money to say the ending was so bad, I removed the game from my backlog, and then also that the ending was a masterpiece. I think that's the best art. The best art elicits both those emotions. This is the greatest thing I've ever experienced, and this was so bad, it's taken away my faith in the medium itself. I love that. Thank you so much. And then Curaga with a $5 dono. Thank you, Curaga. Earlier talk about busting. Oh no, man, it reminded me of Corn Nuts Bust a Nut jingle. Heard it once on the radio in the 90s and never again. I wonder why. Corn Nuts were just a weird thing because they were like edgy. They were like, our advertising needs to be edgy. And this is the same thing. All like magazine advertising in like the 90s was weird. Like I have a Patreon video going up soon that Eric and I put together of going through an old video game magazine and how many ads are just like alarmingly strange and horny and violent for a thing that doesn't need to be any of those.
Like that. Remember that? Like, it's a snack food that is. It's hard to explain, but it's a snack food that I guess is still around. You can probably find it in your local grocery store. You remember that Target ad that like dipped its toe into edgy when Target started to do like direct to consumer shipping, where they're like, I can ship my pants. You ship your pants.
Was it actually a thing?
It was an actual real ad where it was like, I feel like shipping my pants. I loved it.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Holy Moses. Shout out to Target. Not a friend of the show. But funny for the pants shitting.
That was
says Kmart. Does Kmart still exist?
Kmart does not exist. Friend of the show, Kmart, 100%. Friend
of the show, Kmart and Shopko, RIP. Both of you. Rest in power, Kmart and Shopko. We did it.
We did it.
That was the end of the super chats. I
can't believe
we did it. I'm very proud. Are we free? thank you all for watching this episode of Windbreaker. Jay, what do you got going on? Some folks might be a little confused because this should have been a Monday.
Oh yeah, it should have been a Design Delve day.
But then we saw Darren. We heard Darren's dulcet tones about Brexit and 28 years later. So what's happening with Design Delve?
And we swapped around the dates for some scheduling reasons, which is cool. But you're going to be getting a Design Delve tomorrow, which is surprise, on Dune Awakening. You're going to get to hear.
Shocked. I cannot believe.
I know. I mean, it is actually this is actually a situation of where I had a completely different episode planned. Then I played so much Dune that I was like, I think I legally have to make an episode on this to justify the amount of hours I put into it. So it's a very positive video. I think it's going to be I'm in love with but deeply worried about Dune Awakening. I think it's an absolutely fantastic game, but there are some specific aspects to do with its end game that if they don't get fixed, might lead to its downfall. Which saddens me. So it's just a lot of gushing and then some tears. Which is and this episode's weird. I got real weird with this one, so look forward to that. And also look forward to a potential. I'm gonna message you after this, Marty, about a potential dev heads, maybe if there's space this week because schedules might be getting moved around, but there might not be. So look out for that. And to segue into Jack, everyone go watch Adventurers Now. It's a fantastic show.
That's true.
When's that coming, Jack?
I mean, catch up on season 4 because the final episode is planned to come out next week, Saturday the 12th. But yeah, that's next. Wow, it's next week. Saturday is the 12th. Amazing how time works. So keep an eye out for that. The season is wrapping up. Then after that, at some undetermined time, we have the one shot starring Yahtzee and Jenna Stieber. That'll be really fun. I'm back tomorrow with Marty and Darren for the rewind. We're going to be talking about the 28 period of time series movies and some other stuff. It was my first time watching any of the movies recently. Spoiler alert, that first one is pretty damn good. So they'll be there. Jess and I will be back on Thursday playing something. We'll figure that out later. And then, that's what I got coming up.
There you go. Hell yeah. As for the rest of the week, we got Hidden Gems in the evening tonight, normal time. Tune into that. Tomorrow, like we mentioned. Also, this backdrop Design Delve swap. This is just a one-time thing. It's not like they're changing dates forever. It was just a scheduling thing. Tomorrow should have Rewind and Nick and Jenna streaming. Did she already leave?
Wait,
I know she's going on vacation.
She might be out of town, so maybe a Nick and someone else stream. Maybe no stream. We don't know.
I'm making question mark stream.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this. Wednesday, no Yahtzee for Yahtzee tries, but there is not a non-traditional fully Ramblematic. A Yahtzee video will go up on Wednesday. It is not a traditional fully Ramblematic. However, it is centered around his summer game drought vote. So that vote has not occurred yet, but I guess it'll tell us what the finalists are that people will be able to vote on for Yahtzee's summer drought video. And then normal streams the rest of the week. Probably nothing Friday though, because it's 4th of July and we'll be on holiday. And then next week Yahtzee will be back. I will be gone next week though, and then I think there'll be a few weeks. Jay will be gone, so we're gonna have rotating crews for a lot of July. But we'll have fun episodes just like we had today. Will it be fewer horny? Will it be more horny? We'll see.
So we're gonna gauge.
Depends if I come back. Come on.
They
call me Dr. Worm, you see.
And it's because of the tapeworm. Does anyone know how to fix this and get it out of my body? But that will do it for us, for Eric, Jay, and Jack. This was Marty. This was Windbreaker, episode number 81. Thank you all so much, everyone who watched live, listened on your podcast service of choice, anyone who donated and allowed us to hit that goal, and anyone in our Patreon. We appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful rest of your Mondays, and we'll see you all later this evening with Hidden Gems. Bye, everyone.
Bye.